And now we're live. Yep. Sweet. Okay. Welcome back from winter break. We seem to have taken a bit of an extended vacation, but Aphottix is back. Yeah. Chem's back. Let's get down to business, as we should, and let's cool off with some AirCon. Yeah, we finally got notes. Unlike me in high school. Yeah, I'm still excited. You mean the one cutscene and then the game files cutscene that you're never going to be able to access? Yeah, so much for Halo Infinite's 10 years of excitement that was supposed to rival Destiny in terms of storyline and development. Nope. Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. Ooh, that actually looks really nice. I could see that. Oh, you are kidding me. Yeah, good to know. That way we don't get called out by anyone. You know, for once, I'm going to say Seeker does not look bad, especially because of the updated art style. But that one is just weird. It's like the Predator, like, tracker. Know what I mean? It's like it's got two Predator trackers on the side of it. Yeah. More so in 5. Yeah, because it is fun and it does give you the opportunity to where it's like, hey, this is actually pretty cool to look at. It's very enjoyable and it kind of makes sense in the world to where you would think all this armor is meant to be modular. You're able to just take it off and throw something else on. Yeah, you said it yourself. It does look like Crisis. It looks like that's Nomad. Yeah, and the Yoroi core was awesome, especially like when you looked at the Yokai one. It looked like Locust from Halo 4, and I adored that helmet. It was one of the coolest, and definitely RVB had a lot of say in what was popular, what looked good, because they picked some of the most aesthetically pleasing armor, and Yokai definitely did that. Yeah, it felt like Wolfenstein meets Halo. Yeah, it's a lot more. What's the best way to describe it? It's almost like gladiatorial compared to like a knight's helm. It's very it's not very fluid. It's supposed to be big, bulky. It's supposed to be armor. But I mean, besides this helmet, what else is gonna like besides the crisis armor and these three helmets? What else do we got?
The SPI core, which I don't have a screenshot for that specifically, but the helmets for that aren't really looking too good.
Uh,
They're either just really bland or they look like this.
what? What the heck is that? It
Another thing with the Chimera core, check out this coating. The wonderful design team at 3430 managed to come up with.
it looks like
I have no clue if they aren't getting paid enough. Too much.
it looks like Attack on Titan.
It does. It does.
So okay, you heard it here first, folks. Aaron Yeager is coming to Halo. But that SPI, I'm sorry, I gotta take a moment for this. It looks like a frog, like the old Frog and Toad comics from like our childhood, mixed with like the Shaq surprised face and the Chris Pratt surprised face from Parks and Recreation.
It looks dumb.
It looks horrible.
I don't know how they keep doing this.
You know what? I'm gonna call it here. Rez, if you're listening to this right now, I challenge you to make that look good. Make SPI look good. If you do that, I will be impressed.
There's no way. Look, when SPI drops, I will never change a single piece of that core because every single alternative armor that's been leaked for SPI
Garbage.
it looks horrible. And what sucks too is that like I've been clamoring to see some SPI for
Yeah.
Ghost of Honor, amazing, right? And like when we finally got the Mirage armor in MCC for Halo 3, that was hype as shit, right?
Yeah, I still need to read Ghost of Onyx. I am like right about to start The Flood.
Right.
And I've been going through an audiobook on that, so that's gonna take 10 hours.
Yeah, but it is a travesty, and I'm getting sad just thinking about it.
Very much so. It is depressing to look at. So is that all that we know of so far? Is there like new Forge maps? Is there new what other content do we know?
New multiplayer maps. There's one new BTB map.
That's good. We took them long enough. We haven't had any in like a season and a half.
However, it seems like they are not going to be putting the excellent community-made Forge maps into the standard matchmaking.
You're kidding.
A huge letdown, considering all of them are better than the 343 made.
Yeah, we went through and the like 2 weeks ago when the event started, it actually ends in 2 days from the live listening of this.
The most amazing, the most wonderful thing is in the Halo Infinite Season 3 trailer, they market Escalation Slayer as a completely new mode. Now, Escalation Slayer was a mode for an event that they had previously.
It sounds like Gun Game.
It is good.
It literally is just Gun Game. I'm sorry, this has been around for like over 10 years. Go back and play some Call of Duty.
Yeah, thank you, Maverick 3.
You stole Activision.
You're still doing a good job. You're making game modes that you've had for 10 plus years. You know, game modes that nobody was asking. Who out here? I want to know. Who is clamoring, absolutely begging to see Escalation Slayer in Halo Infinite over Infection?
Yeah, though I'd rather have Infection. I mean, a guilty pleasure game of mine is like Gun Game on Black Ops 2. I adored it, especially like back when I was in gaming club in high school. Anyone that went to school with me knows that when I was in gaming club, whenever we had a COD tournament, we would do Gun Game to warm up, and it was just so much fun. I enjoyed myself way too much. So, no Infection, Escalation Slayer, and we also have some pretty subpar armor.
Very.
great.
However, another news with Chem and Aphottix, there's recently been some rumors that apparently a lot of 343 employees are very disgruntled over the slip space engine. Apparently, it's super hard to work with, and that's why the game is very slow when it comes to content drops.
I mean, they're the ones that developed it. Shouldn't they have made it easier for their own team to access it?
Well, making engines for games isn't like a simple process, and on top of that, the slip space engine, instead of making an entirely new engine, they just decided to put a new code being overcomplicate the Blam engine.
Wait, so they've been running the same engine since which Halo is Blam 2 or 3?
So Halo 4, okay. It's the Halo Reach Blam engine, but that engine got updated for both 4 and 5. Right? So it's not like, with engines, it's not like one solid thing. So, for example,
Yeah, like the evolution of Unreal.
or the Gamebryo engine. The Gamebryo engine was used in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, then upgraded into the Creation engine, and that was updated again with Skyrim to level 4, then to level 6.
And we have yet to see that in ESO.
Yeah. Well, we're never gonna see the Creation engine. I don't think it take too much time. They're already there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get over to ZeniMax. They have their turn. That was my fault for a tangent.
All right. Well, now, we have this next topic. What's new in our gaming? You wanna go first?
Actually, no. This one's you. I promise you that you'd get to go first on this one.
Sweet. So I have been playing Dead Space for the first time. Not with the remake, oddly enough. I'm playing this series in release order, and hopefully when I'm done with that, the remake will be on Game Pass. So
That's what I ended up doing with Doom. Like when I was gamer score hunting and trying to get up to 70K, I ended up going through and playing all the original Doom games before playing Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal.
I'm currently about halfway through Dead Space 2, but my thoughts on Dead Space 3, I think might be a little uneven. I think visually it holds up really well. It's a very amazing game. Atmosphere looks great. The art design is wonderful. The enemy design is fantastic. Enemy placement is where things fall pretty short, but I think the problem with Dead Space 1, there are two big ones for me. I think having Isaac Clarke be a silent protagonist in the first game was a really bad decision, and the game themselves realized it, and in Dead Space 2 onwards, boys, um,
Who voices them?
a guy called Gunnar Wright. I have no clue what else he's in, aside from Dead Space, but he does a great job. But in the first game, all you get from Isaac is him just breathing heavily, grunting when he punches things and stomps, and it creates this big disconnect where all the characters you talk to are like they're telling you all this information and you can't respond, warn them about anything, and you find Nicole, your girlfriend, because God forbid a protagonist in the late 2000s be married, shows up. Isaac can't speak. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't call out to her, right? And it's really hard. By the way, Dead Space's story, Dead Space 1's story, is fine. I wouldn't call it anything. I think it has a twist that everybody knows. Spoilers for it's really 18-year-old, 19-year-old game. I'm stupid. Spoilers for an over decade-year-old game. If you cannot call the plot twist immediately, I don't know what's wrong. Isaac's girlfriend is dead the entire time. And the reason why this is something wrong with you, if you can't see that, is every single time you have an encounter with her, another character chimes up on your rig and says, Isaac, I just saw my dead brother moving around. Isn't that crazy? Be on your toes. And then when Isaac learns at the end of the game that Nicole's been dead this whole time, there's like a thing with his hand on his head, like he's all sad. It's like, you moron. What? Why is this like, and excuse me, I think the biggest problem with Dead Space 1 is that it didn't really scare me at all.
Oh, that's good because I'm not a huge fan of horror, and I want to give it a try.
Yeah, I think it's still very much worth it. It is a classic. It's really fun. It's a blast. It's worth playing, and I did enjoy myself with it. However, I think there are a few fundamental key issues. Dead Space 2, though. Dead Space 2 is fucking awesome. I love Dead Space 2. It has a 60 frame boost on next gen. At least on Xbox One. If you're on PC, you just crack that bitch up however long you want. Um, but it's so good. The combat is much more refined. They lean a lot more into the action side and the horror side, which honestly fits much more for me, at least, because Isaac Clarke has gone from like blue collar worker to Jason Bourne. It's almost funny in the lunges at you. You'll have like a quick time event, and Isaac is like scrambling, he's breathing heavily, he's panicking as he's trying to push this behemoth off of him. In the second game, if an enemy jumps on you and you mash A, he fucking grabs their head with his elbow, he fucking crushes it between his forearm and his bicep, he kicks him on the ground, he fucking like, he throws him all over the room. It's hilarious, and I love it. All the new enemy types are great, all the set pieces are wonderful, the new zero-G system is amazing. The story is pretty alright this time. It's great. Dead Space 2 has been a blast, and I can't wait to continue. However, I know that better times are ahead because Dead Space 3 is apparently not the greatest thing on the planet.
Yeah, even like not being a Dead Space fan, I've heard people absolutely just talk dog water on it. So
Yeah, I heard the remake was pretty cool. I can't wait to play that.
yeah, I know you're excited for that, and that's honestly I'm excited for it too. Just like an opportunity to try it again, and I hope it's going to be like Mass Effect: The Collection, to where it's just here's a little bit of here's the graphical updates, and maybe here's a little bit of a gameplay update. Just that way, everything moves smoother.
Oh no, Dead Space remake is like completely different. I've seen gameplay of it. Like comparing remake to Dead Space 1 or even remake to Dead Space 3,
Night and day.
night and day. It is night and day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. So anything else besides Dead Space?
Well, I do have another thing I'd like to talk about. And it's just a little PSA to everybody listening. For the love of God, play Dishonored 2. I put it off for a long ass time, but sometime during our winter break, I played it for the first time, and then I played it for the second time, and then I played it for the third time, and then I played it for the fourth time, and then the fifth time. It is so good. It is such an enthralling masterpiece of a game. Dishonored 2 has to be one of the most critically acclaimed games of the 20th. I know it had a really bad launch, but trust me, if you can get your hands on it, play it. It is so damn good.
I mean, especially even if you just like good atmospheric music. Like mid 2010s, I know Honor for All had a massive like cult following, and that was Dishonored 1. I swear to God, we've had this conversation before, and it's for Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2's music is much. How do I describe it? It kind of has a very mysterious vibe to it, but it's really good. All the atmosphere too, phenomenal, wonderful.
That's always good to hear. So as for like my games that I've been playing over the winter break, notably it's been Formula One. So I do not shut up about it, especially when we're playing or when I'm actually doing the racing games. I think I've streamed it a few times, mostly for my cousins. But the main thing was I loved racing growing up. I loved the Cars movie and like watching Top Gear and later the Grand Tour. And before people call me out, yes, Cars 2 sucked. Have to say it. I saw it in theaters. I saw Cars 3 in IMAX on release at Disney. Let that sink in. Yeah, there was an AMC theater at Disney in 2017. I was going there for the weekend already with my parents and my brother. And we were at Disney Springs, formerly Downtown Disney. And I was we were tired. We just got done with bowling, and it was, oh, let's go watch Cars 3. We forgot that it was releasing that weekend, so it was like day 2 of the movie. Went and saw it in IMAX. Oh my god, that was awesome to see. I felt like a little kid watching Cars 1 again. But like, here we go. Let me just. It was his big wreck. This is Formula 1 from the F122 game. This was released back in June of last year. Now this is an official EA promotional art showing what was back then the brand new regulations, all of the swooping angles, notably in the front and rear wings, along with the ground effects on the cars, were completely revolutionary for the sport. Ground effects not being allowed for, I believe, 20 years. So you couldn't have anything that helped just suck the car hard to the ground. I am a huge fan of racing, so finally getting into Formula 1 with my father was awesome to do because it was also a bit of father-son bonding with him. So I played this. I run my team career mode on that, playing as Andretti Hennessy, which is Hennessy tuning along with Andretti from IndyCar, and I just absolutely adore it. They actually recently just launched the 2023 cars because the season starts actually this upcoming weekend. So you can see, like, here's all the cars from last year, and I'm about to show you the cars from this year. Here's how everything's changed. Some of it not so much, notably stuff like Red Bull. It's all good. It's not that bad, but they just released all the 2023 cars, and testing was going on last weekend. And F122 decided, hey, EA, we actually are super ahead of schedule, and we found out how to get the 2023 cars in the 2022 game. So for the remainder of, I believe, this week up until like Thursday, the Alfa Romeo, this one is from Traxion GG, as a link to this image, without the stake sponsorship, because they're still currently sponsored by Orlen, is available for time trial. So you're able to go through and try out the 2023 cars before the game's even released, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's just this little sneak peek, and of course your number that you select, whether that's anywhere between, well, for the upcoming game, 4 and 99. Because you can't now pick 2, because Logan Sargent, an American from Florida, is now officially driving for Formula 1 under the number 2 for Williams. Yep, so for the entirety of your career, you are stuck with the number that you pick upon entry. Unless if you become... It's between 0, 2, and 99. You cannot be number 1 unless if you are the world champion. So if you earn the highest amount of points in the previous season, you have the opportunity, as long as you continue to be world champion. The previous set of world champions, as one person, Lewis Hamilton, he didn't like the idea of being number 1. He adored his number 44, so he always just picked it, except for pre-2014 when you didn't have your own number. you were just given your standings from the previous season. So he's stuck with 44. Max, on the other hand, the current world champion, current 2-time champ, he uses number 1 because he prefers that over his old number of 33. I personally use number 13, which any F1 fan remembers Pastor Maldonado and his horrific crashes and a lot of shenanigans on the field. That was apparently always entertaining to watch, according to my dad. That's pretty much it. I've been playing an absolute ton of Formula 1 and adoring every second of it. It's just fun being able to say, I'm going 210 miles an hour and not giving a crap at all. And then immediately having to slow down to 40 just for a turn. Yeah, this is exciting because this is a very, very soon release date, being released in only 2 days. Actually, yeah, 2 days. It's being released on the 28th. And, of course, this is the official Bungie reveal art for it. This one we are not risking anything for, if it will let me actually upload it. Oh. Well, that's awkward. I don't know if Chem can hear me right now because my Discord just crashed, which is, well, appearing behind the scenes, this is how we do the podcast. This is very awkward. I'm trying to get it back up and running. This is just funny at this point. Okay. That was weird. I think my Discord just forced itself into an update. That's very strange. You know, I've never actually had technical difficulties on stream. So this is definitely different. All right, can you hear me again, Kim? Okay, we just had some major technical difficulties on my side. For some reason, my Discord crashed. Yeah. Oh, I think I know why. The image is over 8 megabits and I don't have Nitro. Nope, I got it. I just pulled it off of Steam. So Destiny 2's Lightfall expansion, well, it's the annual pass showcase one, but this is what we're running with, and I'm definitely excited for it. A chance to just have something new. Another chapter in the story is always fun, especially since we're nearing the end of the original plan for Destiny. This is, I believe, year 9. Actually, wait. Year 1. Then you had Taken King, Rise of Iron, D2, Forsaken, Shadowkeep, I think? Shadowkeep. Yeah, Beyond Light, Witch Queen. Wow. Lightfall is year 9. That's weird to think about. No wonder they're calling the next one Beyond in the final shape. That is incredibly accurate, especially coming from you. I mean, thankfully with like the Series X and Series S's that we have, it's very easy to just reinstall a game. You just wait an hour and then you're playing again. Let me actually check. Let me throw on my Xbox and I'll take a look. I know the file size is definitely different on PC, and actually that's a fun little segue for a quick tangent. I'm going to be building my own gaming PC soon, and Chem and I might actually start doing playthroughs on something together. Yep, 103.5 megabytes. There's an extra gigabyte just lying around for an Xbox port. Much worse. And that's always fun. I mean, even though we're able to make it work. But Destiny 2's Lightfall, it's hard for me to talk about this because I have to very much dance around every word I say. Because one of my friends, I actually haven't told you this, one of my coworkers is actually an insider for D2 Lightfall. And it's like, there's so much I want to say, but I can't because it's bound by NDA. So I'm not gonna say anything about Lightfall. It's just stuff that I hope it's fun. I really hope the gameplay is going to revitalize D2. And from what we do know, that is public source. The new subclass, I got high hopes for it. Yeah, we'll definitely be hearing updates for this on the podcast, and maybe even like a. Do you think when it comes time for it to get published, we might throw a pre-order link out there? Yeah, don't worry, we got your back on this. Yes, because we need to get a Harry Potter styled adaptation of this, to where it's going to span. And then occasionally coming down to Florida so we can go to like Disney and Universal. So speaking of Disney and Universal, that actually is the perfect way to transition into the next topic for this. Jedi Survivor. Now, it was supposed to be released next week, but if anyone's been paying attention, it's been pushed back over a month. It's been pushed back to April 28th. So, I don't know. I got mixed feelings about this one. Yeah, because though I do want the game to be as good as possible, it's definitely to the point to where can it take any longer?
I hope they push it back from looking at the gameplay, it seems so similar to the first game, and like all the things that they changed seems like for the worse. Everybody's dunked on Respawn for Cal's running animation because he looks like such a goofball. How he like sways his arms around really heavily. Center of mass seems almost fixed in one position. Um, but I think the stuff we've seen is kind of like, I think the two-wheeled stance, all the tools, was definitely missing from the first game. You know, it's all right. The crossguard stance, why is the lightsaber heavy? It's made out of light. The only real gameplay addition that I'm like, yeah, really hyped for is the blaster and saber skills that they said they had. I'm really excited to see that. However, they did also say that you don't have two stances equipped at the same time, which is a little disappointing for me.
So it's not going to be like Devil May Cry 5 where you're able to just hot swap between all of your styles?
Listen, call me elitist, call me a gatekeeper, but remove the beanie tip button and give me at least 3 stances, right? I can't remember a single time in the first game where that beanie one tip button was useful because all it is, I believe it's like up on the D-pad, you press up and it counts like, hey beanie, and then beanie makes some moving noises. Because half the time, like, it's purely contextual, right? And if you don't use it in specific locations, it's a useless button.
And 90% of the time, it just procs the cutscene. Just do the cutscene the moment you walk to the area. Do with like what, like, do a mission complete or objective complete. Here's your cutscene, or do it like Halo, to where it's like, okay, you've now done this, you're good. Or it's actually, I'm gonna have to save this for when we segue into our next topic, but like, do it with to where you have to prompt that you're actually going to join the next mission by holding X or something, like how Hogwarts Legacy is. But like, actually, that is the perfect way to transition to it. But like the last thing is like with Fallen Order, I know especially we have that meme to where it's Cal looking at his lightsaber and it's like, wow, this shit bright. It's like, it's probably one of the best. It's one of the best memes to come out of that so far. But as everyone knows who has been pretty much on the internet in the past 2 weeks, Hogwarts Legacy has been under a lot of heat, praise, and controversy.
I am all for the heat. Bring it on. Now here's the thing.
What are you, from Miami?
As a non-biased person, or well, I am biased.
We're both biased.
I need to say something. I have never been attached to Harry Potter at all. In fact, I couldn't get into them as a kid. It never clicked with me. So I'm looking at this through like no lens of nostalgia, nothing. And here are my honest opinions. I think that the anti-Semitic and this overall like internalized messages from Harry Potter, from what I've seen, they're definitely still in the game by nature of it being set in Harry Potter, but it seems like the developers genuinely did their best to not make the game like incredibly anti-Semitic or racist or transphobic in any way, shape, or form. But to me, the only part about Hogwarts Legacy that I'm at all aggravated about is the streamers who say that they're being quote-unquote harassed. Maybe it's the classist fuck in me, but if you play video games for a living and you got told by some followers that like, oh, I can't believe you did this, oh, I'm unfollowing, boo-hoo, you know, grow up. It's like, you're living the dream, man.
Yeah, you're literally playing video games for a living.
Exactly. Take the heat from a few people who, by the way, very justly don't want to support this game for ethical reasons, and they have the right to
Yeah, there's also a case to where it's like, even with it, even if you're a streamer that interacts with the chat on a minute by minute basis, you can just look past one comment who is spamming. And most of the time your moderators, when they realize that, hey, this person is spamming the same stuff every 5 seconds, they're gonna mute the guy for an hour, or they're going to block the person or kick them out of the chat to where they can't type for the rest of the stream. There's ways around it. Come on.
I've seen clips on Twitter of Twitch streamers genuinely crying or getting like all butthurt over a few people quote unquote harassing them.
Now doxing people or DDoSing or swatting, that is absolutely horrible, and you have no respect from anyone for doing it. And if people are praising you for getting someone swatted or DDoSed for just playing a game set in the Harry Potter world, that's screwed up. And
However, if you're getting upset with these people who are taking issue with playing a video game, which, by the way, you not only paid for, but you're currently making money off of it as you're playing it, right?
yeah, it's like,
You know how many
no, it's all good.
Do you know how many people in this world would kill to have your job? How many people would actually murder?
I wouldn't go as far as murder, but metaphorically speaking, both of us would probably sell our souls to have like Achievement Hunter, the Yogs cast, to where it's like, to be the internet personalities, to where it's more than just a podcast that maybe 6 people will listen to at once. To just say, yeah, we're gonna go play Elder Scrolls today, or we're playing Minecraft, we're playing GTA, Red Dead Redemption, Hogwarts Legacy.
They live in massive houses. They have a huge following. They have everything they could ever want. Right? Materialistically, anyway. I'm sure there's some streamers who have everything, but they for the life of them, cannot find touchable of it.
Yeah, or there are some people that are incredibly humble on the internet too, thankfully.
Exactly. Like, you have things that most people on the planet can only gauge with.
Yeah, especially when you're working a.
Like the victim when a few people come into your chat call you a loser? Like, no. It's ridiculous.
The only time that, like, some of the hate I do believe is unwarranted, especially if you were to at least look at the character creation of the game. It is probably the most inclusive character creation I have ever seen. Because you pick male or female body type, you pick male or female voice, depending on which one you want. You select whatever name you want, and then you choose, are you a witch or are you a wizard? You can't get more inclusive than that. And one of my favorite characters in it, one of my favorite NPCs, is surprisingly a trans character. I honestly didn't know at first, and it's like, this is awesome. You go through the side quests, and it's like, you are one of the nicest people in this game. What the hell? And this is coming from a Slytherin.
As I mentioned earlier, the developers have made clear attempt to be as inclusive as possible. Another big disclaimer, I have not played Hogwarts Legacy. I've not purchased Hogwarts Legacy. All of my knowledge of Hogwarts Legacy comes from friend group. It comes from things I've seen and I've watched on.
I have actually beaten most of the main story. I am actually in the completionist side of it right now.
Oh, also, big update for all of our Yarg pirate listeners who might be up. We're also Harry Potter fans. The crack on Hogwarts Legacy is apparently going very well. So if you don't want to support J.K. Rowling or the Harry Potter franchise in any way, shape, or form, the torrent for it is apparently making its way over.
Yeah, and even then, like, the only problem that I ever had with the people that were vocalizing their opinions about Hogwarts Legacy and outright attacking the game was when they created the website that was automatically designed to promote when people were streaming it, so that way people would be able to be there and harass the individuals and potentially dox them. That was the only problem that I ever had with this. And some of it to where it's like, okay, I can see what you're talking about. This character design does kind of allude to it because they're trying to stay faithful to the universe that it's in. And other points to where it's like, okay, this is just blown out of proportions. These characters don't reflect that in any way. And I mean, even the whole concept of the game itself, the storyline, spoilers ahead, it's pretty much all about inclusivity. I mean, the whole thing is just pretty much a goblin rebellion to where it's like, okay, there's this one radicalized individual that you need to take down, but one of your closest companions is a goblin for a major part of the story, and it's genuinely touching. Yeah,
So I think the least the developers could have done, I don't care if people would make a hissy fit out of it, they could have like slightly redesigned it, right? But just so they get rid of some of those like derogatory, stereotypical Jewish features off of it.
I mean, the only time where the derogatory stuff was definitely for the main villain, Ranrock. And that's just because you are supposed to make the bad guy look like an amalgamation, especially in any kind of fantasy or fantastical sense. The bad guys are normally a little ugly.
However, if that bad guy resembles harmful stereotypes, then it's like
Yeah. And then when you take like some of the good goblins, like Ludgok, definitely softened up the features, made him a bit friendlier to look at. Definitely one of the weirdest things that come out of my mouth on this podcast.
to anyone listening, I have homework for all of you. If you purchase and played Hogwarts Legacy, to watch Django Unchained 2 times. To cleanse your spirit.
Cleansing spirits. I thought you had to go pray to Azura for that. So, Tarantino.
Jamie Foxx. The Jamie Foxx movie. I love you.
It's a Tarantino movie. It's not a Jamie Foxx movie. It's just because Jamie Foxx is in it.
Stars in it. He's like this centerpiece.
He is Django. But he's the centerpiece. Leonardo steals every scene he's in.
Okay,
And Samuel L. Jackson.
I love the behind the scenes stuff with Leonardo DiCaprio, where like there was a specific story about how he was like really uncomfortable saying the N-word, and he had to get coached by Samuel L. Jackson.
And Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, exactly, because he'd stumble all of his life because he didn't like saying it.
Yeah, it's... If you look at the interview, it's probably one of the best things out there. We're not going to play it on the podcast for obvious reasons, but it is it's definitely worth a listen, especially if you just want to laugh at Samuel L. Jackson just being genuinely a good person. Now, the main thing is with this, addressing the elephant in the room, we both have, besides video games on this podcast, we do talk a lot about TV shows and movies. We tried to get into the Rings of Power. Definitely was very much a hit and a miss. Yeah, you didn't watch it. I enjoyed some of it. I didn't enjoy all of it. But the main thing is talking about stuff like The Bad Batch and Star Wars as a whole right now. And I found out something that's very interesting last night. While I was doing a little bit of research for this one. So, Bad Batch Season 2 started out January 4th, and it's a bit rocky. There are definitely some good things that came back in it, like seeing stuff from the Empire's perspective. Cody coming back was a big plus. Having stuff like the assassination troopers from Legends, but there's still some problems with it, like definitely Omega as a character still a little bit whiny, and definitely a surrogate for.
Did they fix that yet, or is she still like a white woman?
She's definitely paler. She is very close to resembling the rest of the crew. Rex coming back was awesome. The main thing was, I understand that companies nowadays feel the need to have surrogates for the younger audience, like looking at Ahsoka in the Clone Wars or Ezra in Rebels. But not everything, especially when it's probably single-handedly the grittiest time in Star Wars. You don't need a child for this. And like watching through it, even with my parents, who are, my mom is a diehard Ahsoka fan. I have the opportunity to see Hayden Christensen in a month.
I think it's so funny.
It's
Star Wars right now. They're just dads. They're dads everywhere.
yeah, it's literally it's. Is it Baby Simulator or like Daddy Simulator? What was that one game?
I think it's baby simulator.
It was, I think so.
Becoming a trope. Did you know that? Not just in Star Wars, but in general, it's becoming a trope. To have a male character watch over.
It's Mother Simulator.
Yeah,
Oh, never mind. I was wrong. Yeah, it's no, especially with Pedro Pascal.
yeah. Two Pedro Pascal shows right now have him watching over a young.
Yeah, just a kid. It's like, okay.
Well, to be fair, I actually really enjoyed The Last of Us so far. I'm excited for season 2 because I thought the game. Okay, Last of Us Part 2 being a video game was what Last of Us Part 2. Um, if it were a show, it'd be so much better. Because just going off of a side thing real quick. Last of Us Part 2's biggest issue is that it doesn't give the player enough choice. So when it punishes the player for doing the only thing they could have done, it feels really unsatisfying. The entire story arc is useless. However, I'm saying all of this without spoiling specifics. However, if it were a show, if you play that game and just watch like the cutscenes or you watch someone else play it with no commentary, it's 10 times better. Because now it feels more like a character story rather than like the game being like, hey, fuck you, I can't believe you did that. I definitely think, circling back, they should have definitely taken a few more cues from Dishonored. Because in Dishonored both 1 and 2, the more you harm people, the worse the world is, the more cynical the story becomes, right? But Last of Us Part 2 doesn't have that, which is why I'm excited for the show to get to that.
Definitely. And like circling back to it, it's like, yeah, you need a child surrogate for the audiences, but do you really? I mean, some of like Clone Wars, when you got to, definitely matured, and Rebels did the same thing and matured with the audiences. They realized, oh, these kids are now grown up. Some of their best episodes, like notably Umbara, all of season 7, besides the Martez sisters, and like a lot of later Rebels, like Twilight and the Apprentice afterwards, got so good because they were not afraid to do darker storylines, and it was just, here's brutalist war at the end of it. It's the Clone Wars.
When it comes to child characters right now, I think with Grogu it works. Grogu it works, and with Ellie from Last of Us it works because like they have overall like narrative stories. However, with Omega becomes, in my opinion, a lot more of a narrative, especially since a number of I haven't watched season 2 yet. Especially since she doesn't seem to have a clear, defined goal. You could take Omega out of Bad Batch, and Bad Batch might just be a better show because of it. Because then
Yeah, no, that is a good take.
like a family sitcom and more of like this elite group becoming incredibly disillusioned over like what their own ideals were and having to survive in this world because of Omega. Can't put children in situations of wartime abuse. So Bad Batch becomes much more of like a fun, lighthearted story
Yeah.
Old Star Wars. I love Andor.
Yeah, I loved Andor because it was very much like the prequels to where it's a political drama. And it's a political drama where everyone's got a gun. And probably one of the best things, and it's why it's one of the highest rated shows, because it wasn't afraid to be brutalist.
Oh my god, I remember I saw this clip on TikTok where someone was like, Mandalorian season 2 versus Andor. And Mandalorian, guys, look, it's Ahsoka Tano, it's Luke Skywalker. You remember those guys? Look, you remember them? And then Andor's like, fucking, hey kids, you wanna build a pipe bomb? And it's like,
Yeah, it's here step by step on how to make an IED.
these motherfuckers are wielding space AKs in Andor, right? Fucking anti-circus prison blades. It's amazing. It's so fucking good. I
Yeah,
love it.
and even with like stuff with the Mad Batch, my favorite episode of it by far. Actually, it's two of them. It was the Clone Conspiracy, to where didn't even have the Batch in it, and the Solitary Clone episode 3, where it was focused on Crosshair and Cody. It was, here is how the clones are affected by the rest of the Clone Wars in Order 66. It was, oh shit, these guys are still here. They still exist. They still are facing the consequences. It's, what the hell?
I feel like my big issue with that though is kind of with clones because I know what happened to Cody despite not I feel like we don't see enough clones that are just like in support of the Empire. And I'm not like pro Empire, yeah, let's go, fascism. What I'm saying is, I think it's really weird how every single named clone we've seen aside from Crosshair has been like, I know I've slaughtered like hundreds of civilians for these guys, but you four people and your dinky little kid have convinced me, yeah, the Empire is pretty bad. Like, it feels really weird that all these guys are just able to turn heel at the drop of a hat, right? And it makes Order 66 as an event seem really odd.
Yeah, and like with one,
However, to be fair, I think with Rex it was like the only move they could have done. It would have been super sad to see him like turn, but
they also didn't have a choice.
exactly they
The,
didn't have a choice. But it feels like they have a choice now, which is really weird because you think that there'd be safeguards to prevent them from doing that. Having a choice.
yeah, I mean, when you look at, especially like with the Clone Conspiracy, the main reason why, like, do you care about spoilers? Okay, spoilers ahead, because I do have to give that preference. It follows. It's a Rex centered storyline for the two-parter. The Batch does come to play for the second episode, but not for the first. It's about exposing the destruction of Kamino, because one of the clones that was on Rampart's Venator cracked. He wasn't a part of Order 66. He just thought that this shit was horrible because he destroyed his own home. And he wanted Rampart to be held accountable for this because, though he was following orders, there are some orders to where you are not supposed to act upon. And if you're an outside clone thinking the Jedi betrayed us, and you didn't have a Jedi general, especially that you were close with, like the 501st, you're going to question that. And even if you don't question that, you're going to question orbital bombardment of the only home you've ever known. And he was also drunk out of his mind, so he was speaking completely unhinged. So that's when it was good, and the whole thing proved that, okay, here is why we transitioned to stormtroopers. Because the whole thing was a ploy by Palpatine to say, yeah, it's time for the clones to be phased out. We're going to publicly say we're going to give them everything that they want.
The stormtrooper design, if we see it in that season 2, is good. I hope it looks nothing like the Rebels. You could see a Clone Wars
Yeah.
God damn, the stormtroopers on that planet was so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I
Oh, by the way, I need to preface again. That's not me saying, go fascism. But look, a man can think that stormtroopers look cool and not be a fascist, okay? That's all I'm saying.
very much so. And the last one for this one is Mandalorian. Now we've already started talking about Pedro Pascal being the ultimate dad in sci-fi.
My biggest fear, and this tipped me off to this thus far, is Bo-Katan in the trailer calling Din Djarin Grogu's dad, is that they're going to lean even harder into the fan service, and I don't want that because I'm of the belief that season one of Mandalorian is a million times better than season two, and it's because season one of Mandalorian was such a risk and it was so unique. It was very much a Western story in space, right? Wonderful. But then season two happened, and it just became like an in-universe way for Disney to chill out all their upcoming future projects.
Yeah, very much so, especially with Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka. And you think this was bad? I learned this last night. This was what I was doing when I was doing research. Disney was going to make a new movie with Daisy Ridley and Grogu.
What, really?
Yep, because their goal was to try to take away some of the tarnish that was on Rey's legacy.
To be fair, honestly, I would have liked it. Here's the thing. I think people give Daisy Ridley shit. I think with what she was given, she did a great job. She did a pretty good job.
She did a good job with what she was given, but the sequels as itself, it's the reason why,
Two of three of them I will forever defend. I love that movie, but oh my god, I can't defend 8 or 9, especially 8, because I love
8 is so hard to defend.
I love Ryan Johnson so much as a director, as a writer, as a person. He's so great, but Jesus Christ, these
Not good in Star Wars. Not good in Star Wars.
ridiculous. I don't even think that it's that good in Star Wars. Okay, so here's the thing. Ryan Johnson would have definitely worked if they had him from the beginning. Because Ryan Johnson's entire thing is a very subversive writer, right? However, he has just been given one full movie and a really garbage idea from J.J. Abrams. And he was just handed that. He was told, make this work. And so he did the only thing he could do. He wrote what he thought would be good. But the issue is, he fucking
It wasn't good.
holes because it wasn't his story. And even then, that isn't an excuse because he did that same shit with Breaking Bad. But with Breaking Bad, it worked. It worked so well. He made the best episodes of Breaking Bad. Ozymandias, for any of the non-Breaking Bad fans, the gif of Walter White falling on the floor and crying, that's from Ozymandias.
Oh.
Yeah, that is the best episode of that entire show. Most of the greatest episodes of Breaking Bad were directed by Ryan Johnson. But man, he fucked up so hard with Star Wars, and it makes me so sad.
Yeah, it's it's the Krennic meme. You were on the verge of greatness. You were this close.
Exactly.
And it's like, if you decided to just stick to the guns that were given to you, and the original scripts for 8 and 9 written by JJ were a lot better because they were cohesive. It was the fact that Ryan pretty much threw everything out the window and wrote 8 and 9, directed 8, got fired, and no, he wrote a draft of 9.
He wrote a draft, not a whole.
Yeah, and then that got picked up by JJ, and they were rewriting until the final 6 months of filming.
Yeah, look, here's my thing.
Fucking Ray Kenobi. Ray Kenobi.
Ray Kenobi. Look, okay. I think that this is another tangent. This is another I defend Ryan Johnson for a minute and a half moment. I think a lot of diehard Star Wars fans don't see the movies because I still see to this day people saying that Ryan Johnson is a terrible director and we should never let him on Star Wars. If you would have told people in 2015 or whenever Force Awakens was coming out, there was going to be a Ryan Johnson
Wasn't Looper one of his movies? I'm pretty sure Looper was. Let's look up his IMDb real quick. Yeah. He did Knives Out, and that was good. That was good subversion. Glass Onion, not so much, but whatever. Damn right. Yeah, it's like we know definitely we are seeing Bo-Katan. We are seeing the main characters. Cara Dune apparently got recasted. They got rid of Gina Carano permanently. Apparently after getting her back, which is more confusing than Henry Cavill in DC, because apparently he's back again. She was one of my favorites from season 1. Well, she was WWE. Yeah, very very serious, but still playful in a sarcastic sense. And like that's why we loved that's why I loved Cara Dune. That was a female character that was relatable no matter who you were. And it was like, okay, impossible odds, overwhelming chance of failure. Screw it, let's do it anyways. Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have Boba. I think we're going to have Paz Vizsla again because, let's face it, Jon Favreau loves appearing in everything he owns. So that's probably going to be something monumental. What else? I mean, we're going to Mandalore. We know Carl Weathers is returning because of the sneak peek. And it's like, okay, now what? Yeah, and then thankfully they improved it. I mean, the funny thing is they were originally going to use Plo Koon. Then again, that is also Dave Filoni's favorite character. But it's like, I don't know. The only way is going to be waiting for Wednesday, March 1st. And then it's like, okay, Mandalorian's going to be out. And then it's pretty much, here we go again. Yeah, it's like, this is the coolest thing ever. What did they even turn it into? Again, they explain this in the show, Children of the Watch. They are zealots. You can't get more. Any tool is a weapon. Not every weapon. Well, no. Every weapon is a tool, but not every tool is a weapon. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's been around since the Clone Wars. Yeah, Maul with the Maul DeLoreans was one of the coolest things. Gar Saxon is still one of my favorite designs in season 7. Because you got Gus. Yeah, even when you're looking at it with when it's with Gus, he even states that he won it legitimately. So it's like, okay, Big Bad is the legitimate ruler of Mandalore. Shit. Okay, now he's gone the next season. Okay, now what? Yeah, he's following his religion like any good Mormon boy. Yeah. Yeah, it's... They did it perfect in 2. I really realize this. Though I made the joke about calling him a Mormon because of the religious zealotism, he's more like Jehovah's Witness. He is a space JW. Oh god, he's an SJW. Great. Someone make that a t-shirt. Someone make that a t-shirt, please. I'd wear it. I like gin. I'll make a drink for if we ever do this in person. A gin jarrin. Damn right, we're doing that. If you're doing it on the highway, I don't think so. If you're going back roads to where you're, depends on the state. If it's in the trunk and it's on, I got yeasty sugar honey water. If you hit the cocaine, you've got too far. What laws? The laws of Scandinavia. I think that's everything. I think that's everything for this week. So, on that bombshell,